An Association of Women Judges. Good morning to the Chief Magistrate. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Gordon. I am doing well, thank you. And thank you for having me on your morning 94.1 Boom FM program today.
It's great to have you here again. So this morning, I know you want to talk a bit about the Guyana Association of Women Judges, its mandate and its purpose, but you want to focus too on the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. So tell us first about the GAWJ.
This morning, I am pleased to be here representing the Guyana Association of Women Judges as the president of that association. So I will tell you about our association, what we do, and what we will be doing in observance of World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, which will be observed globally on Saturday, July 30th of this year. The Guyana Association of Women Judges was launched on the 17th of September in 2016, and it is a registered company which is affiliated to the International Association of Women Judges. We are a not-for-profit company consisting of female judicial officers, which include judges of both the Court of Appeal and the High Court, commissioners of title, or as they will normally say, land court judges, magistrates, the registrar, and the deputy registrar of the Supreme Court. And we are managed by a board of directors made up of members elected to serve on the executive. Some of what we do. Our engagements are exclusively for charitable and educational purposes, and our main objectives are to promote and encourage cooperation and collaboration among women judges locally and with other affiliates. We also promote greater understanding and better resolution of legal issues facing all persons, especially women. We support programs and activities which discourage violence in our society, particularly gender-based violence. The objectives are also intended to ensure that the justice system promotes and protects the rights and interests of women and other persons in our society, and to ensure that strategies are promoted and implemented to achieve gender equality and equity in the justice system, and to educate members of the society on these issues. In order to achieve our objectives, we also collaborate with governmental stakeholders and other affiliates, both locally and internationally. So basically, that is who we are and what we do, Gordon.
Good information there. And as you mentioned, the International Day, the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, will be observed this coming Saturday, the 30th of July. And your organization going to look at raising awareness, and that's one of the reasons you're here this morning. Just last week, the U.S. State Department released their international report on trafficking in persons. And one of the concerns was that in Guyana, you're not seeing enough convictions. You're not seeing enough prosecutions. So what do you think is the reason for that? Why do you think we are not seeing there are reports of these cases happening, but you're not seeing many of them making their way into the court? And in many instances, when they do, they take forever.
Well, Gordon, there are a number of factors, but we are going to discuss that more in detail on Thursday morning on 104.1 FM, when we will have a panel of all the stakeholders, so the public will get a better understanding of what we do and some of our difficulties.
Okay.
But really, we know that in Guyana, trafficking in persons is an offense under Section 3.1 of the Combating of Trafficking in Persons Act. And persons who are convicted face a penalty in the magistrate's court if tried there of imprisonment from 3 years to 5 years, and in the High Court from 5 years to life. And they are also required to pay restitution to the victims, which will include medical treatment, costs of physical and occupational therapy, attorney fees, and other losses suffered by the victims. But trafficking in persons, I just want the public to know what it looks like. And it is defined under the Act in Section 2K, and it is basically made up of three elements, which is the Act element, which includes the recruitment, transportation, receiving, or harboring of persons. The means element, which is basically how it is done, which is by coercion, deception, tricks, fraud, threat of use of force, or the exercise of control over a person, just to name a few.
Yeah.
And the purpose is basically for exploitation, which is sexual exploitation or labor exploitation. And in these circumstances, Gordon, consent is normally not relevant because there can be no consent if you are forced, threatened, deceived, or tricked. And in relation to our children, there is no requirement for the means element because once there is the act of recruiting, transporting, or receiving and the form of exploitation, then that is sufficient to prove any offenses. So let me get right into the theme for the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. So the theme is use and abuse of technology, and it focuses on the role of technology as a tool that can both enable and impede human trafficking. So this year, in support of the fight to eradicate this crime, and in keeping with the theme, the international theme, the Guyana Association of Women Judges, in observance of World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, will hold two activities which aim at sensitizing the public on trafficking in persons by the use of technology and other means. Our first activity is a collaborative panel discussion on trafficking in persons, and this will be held on Thursday morning, Thursday the 28th of July, on 104.1 FM at 7:30. And this will be live stream also on our Facebook page. The panelists for the discussion, as I said before, will include our stakeholders, which is members from our association, the Guyana Police Force, the Ministry of Social Services Trafficking in Persons Unit, and the International Office for Migration. Of course, the discussion is to maintain public confidence in the judicial system, although you may not see many cases coming through, but we want to maintain that public confidence in the judicial system by bringing awareness to the general public about the protective measures that are in place for victims of trafficking in persons. So we want to encourage them to report, because as you were asking before, Gordon, one of the issues we have is reporting, because they do not realize that they are being trafficked. And the second project we're going to do, we're going to have distribute 150 trafficking in persons posters in all the administrative regions within this country. And the posters, once again, are intended to raise awareness and offer guidance to the public on how to recognize the crime. And not only how, Gordon, where to report it. And what we're doing also, which is unique, the posters will be available in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. As you know, we have a wide cross-section of those persons presently in our country, Gordon. And we're going to place them at strategic points, like the points of entry, ports of entry, police stations, the health centers, because you know trafficking in persons, many persons are abused and they tend to go to health centers.
Yeah.
And we're also going to put them in village offices. We're also targeting the areas like Anai, Karasabai, and Mabaruma. So we're not only circulating in Georgetown, Aquero, and those are places where we have courts also. So we are therefore encouraging members of the public to tune in on Thursday the 28th at 7:30 on 104.1 FM to listen to our discussion or log on to our Facebook page. Please spread the word, tell a neighbor, a family member, a friend, so that they can learn more about this serious modern-day slavery crime. And for you too, members of the public, if you identify that there is someone being trafficked, please report it. And quickly, Gordon, in closing, I just want to talk about the signs so that members of the public will not only listen to this, but they will be able to identify, or if you suspect, then you can call. It's better to be, safe than sorry. So some of the signs are persons who are forced begging. That is one of the signs of trafficking in person. And we see that a lot around Georgetown. Frequent injuries or signs of abuse, appearing malnourished, working very long hours, very little rest, and sometimes no pay or very little pay. That is one of the factors and one of the indicators. Avoiding eye contact and social interventions, not being allowed to speak to family members or others. And these are just a few. We encourage the public to look out for these signs and join us to eradicate human trafficking. And you can call the Trafficking in Persons 24-hour hotline numbers. And one of the numbers is 227-4082, 227-4082, or 623-5030. Or we also have the Spanish hotline, which is 624-0079. And of course, you can call the Guyana Police Force on their number, 225-3650. So thank you very much, Gordon, this morning for allowing us just to put out some awareness to the public. And once again, we will be discussing more of it on Thursday on 104.1.
Good information, Madam Chief Magistrate, and we thank you for sharing your thoughts with us and also letting us know about the Guyana Association of Women Judges and the work that you have been doing and the work that you will continue to do in many areas, especially dealing with trafficking in persons. So thanks a lot for talking with us this morning. I want to encourage the public to see something and say something, and also tune into your Facebook page, the Guyana Association of Women Judges, on Thursday morning at 7:30 for that session.
Thank you.
You have a great day today.
You too, Gordon.
That was the Chief Magistrate of Guyana.